This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 8/9/21, show number 308. Well, the headline is for sure, Nick, gold had a flash crash, $100. It's trading down on the spot market, almost $40 the ounce. What is going on here?
Yeah, we got a nice dip in gold again. Right now on the gold futures, it's down 31, so it's trading at around 1732. I mean, we've been talking about it really since June of this year when we had options expiration. In fact, it was a quarterly expiration, which we call a quadruple witching options X. Gold got absolutely hammered during that time period, and I said that's an ugly chart pattern that's put in, and I think we're going to probably have to look at it going lower in time. And I also pointed out that the gold miners were lagging the metal, and that's never a good sign. That's a bearish indication. So I didn't think gold would get hit as hard as it did last week, but it did, and it's got more to go. There's a lot more downside for gold right now, but the positive is it's going to lead to the greatest buying opportunity since 1999, and that's what people fail to realize sometimes. Sometimes these patterns, when they play themselves out, especially these larger time frame structures, they have to go back and retest levels. They have to shake out weak hands. It's just how it works. It works in everything. Same thing when you look at cryptos. Everybody loves them at the high, and then they shake everybody out. It's the same thing. It's just how markets operate, and this is no different. But you're going to get a great buying opportunity down the road. Just be patient with it here. I tweeted out earlier. I told everybody, I said, exercise patience right now. You don't need to, catch every uptick in gold or every little bounce. I said, you just need to catch the main spot or the main support area where when this gets its next real bottom. I mean, it's going to be a lifetime buying opportunity. So again, I'm excited. I can't wait for it to fall even more.
All right. Well, you're alone in that regard, but so what about Bitcoin though? It's really it hasn't shown any weakness in the face of gold's decline. It's only going up.
Oh, Bitcoin is the new gold now, right? Everybody loves Bitcoin. But here's the story with Bitcoin. Let's just say what happened, okay? Bitcoin's back to 45,000. It's jumping after the United States senators reached a compromise on how to tax crypto assets. Now, this is part of that $550 billion infrastructure bill. I mean, last minute type deal. They put it in there, and Bitcoin is getting a big rip on the news. Still has to be voted on, but most likely it'll go through. I would think if the politicians now have their hands in the cookie jar, it's gonna get pushed through. So that we're looking at a pretty good move. But just take it into account that Bitcoin is not even retraced 50% yet of its decline. So it's getting up there around 47,150, 47,200. That'll be around 50% retrace. So it's getting there. But you now have the politicians in there. They're owning Bitcoin now. So, they have a vested interest. And that's where we are. Listen, follow the money. You'll find out where everything goes. But overall, I still don't like it in due time. I think if I gave everybody a level last week, I said, Bitcoin is constructive right now. It's holding up a lot of resistance. Today, it broke through that resistance level. And again, if it comes back down and retraces and closes below 34,400, then it's absolutely cooked. But, it's getting a bid, living to fight another day, and we'll watch the political noise going forward. And, if this doesn't, if this new tax deal doesn't get pushed through, then, this thing could come back down as fast as it went up.
Yeah. Well, we're starting to get comments from listeners on YouTube, basically that we know nothing. We don't know what we're talking about. It's amazing what a difference a week makes. But
well, you remember when we talked about crypto at 65,000 in early to mid-April. We didn't know anything back then either, and it dropped over 50%. So again, the chart pattern was constructive. I haven't been saying to short it. I said it lives to fight another day, and it can go higher, and it has. So I don't think there's anything that people, they just, today we live in a society, Kerry, where, the internet gives everybody a voice. and everybody has to speak their mind, and that's fine. I don't even care.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And hey, I heard there was a rumor that Elon Musk had purchased the entire Congress for about half of his stash of Dogecoins. So maybe there's some truth to that one, huh?
Nothing would surprise me in this upside down world that we're living in, and nobody could say it's not. We're living in a time where, it's unprecedented money printing. Everybody's, got some kind of say in everything out there. It really is just the sign of the time. So as crazy as that may sound, Elon Musk purchasing Congress, I would not rule it out.
We're not saying that happened. That was a joke or a bad effort at one. But hey, next time you see your congressman, ask him to see his digital wallet, because it's got to be the greatest facilitator of illicit payoffs in the world. Although obviously there are entities out there that can trace every crypto transfer out there. But if it's a congressman's wife or child, 21-year-old child, or who knows, even Hunter Biden, we'll say that it opens up great new pathways for institutional corruption and graft.
Well, I mean, that's been the story, right? That the knock on Bitcoin has been, so-and-so could get paid off, or a drug dealer could make a purchase and a transaction using it. And then, we come to find out that it can be tracked. There's just so much to it. Right now, it's still the hot topic. Everybody talks about it day in and day out. And, it seems to be the asset class of choice. But it was funny because I saw somebody on, I forget who it was, earlier today on Fox Business. It might have been Charlie Gasparino. I can't remember. But either way, he said, when you own a stock, you own a piece of a company. When you own a cryptocurrency, what do you really own?
You own some ones and zeros, I guess. I mean, yeah,
there you go. There you go. So you don't really have a piece of a company. You have the sentiment of somebody willing to push it higher. And, right now you have a lot of institutions that really want this to become viable just simply because they have a big vested interest in it. And, all in all, it's having a good day today. You look at all the crypto stocks out there, whether it's GBTC, ETHE, Coinbase, RIOT Blockchain, MicroStrategy, they're all doing well today on the back of this news.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting too, isn't it? Yeah, Ethereum's back over 3,000. It was as high as 4,000 at one point. So it's retraced more than Bitcoin has.
Yeah, I don't have an Ethereum chart, unfortunately. I use the Bitcoin futures chart because I trade futures, but I don't trade Bitcoin personally. But, when you look at some of these crypto moves, the theory or the talk of the town is that Ethereum is going to surpass Bitcoin, right? That's it. It's a better, technology and, whatever story they're throwing at us this week. But, Bitcoin is still the fan favorite. It's still the one that, most people dabble in, and Ethereum is second place right now. So, again, they're both up percentage wise by about the same amount, a little over 5%. But yeah, they rally up, then they pull back a little bit. And again, it's a volatile asset class, and, we'll see how it plays out. Ultimately, just watch key levels. If this thing breaks certain levels, then it's in trouble. But right now, lives to fight another day.
All right. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. We already talked about gold. Silver is also getting slammed, and no relief in sight. How low you think? Well, I don't want you to put a definite number, but it could go substantially lower, huh?
Yeah, I think they could go substantially lower. Silver, though, you're going to get, these things don't go down in a straight line. That's what everybody's got to understand. Even silver right now, you're at a pretty good support level or approaching one. So, I mean, you're not going to go straight down in a straight line. There will be bounces. Same thing goes for gold and gold miners. Nothing's going to go down in a straight line. Some of these things are going to get some bids. And then you'll get maybe multi-day, multi-week bids. The same way, if you remember when gold topped out in August of 2020, I was not bullish on it until we got down to whatever was 1,700 or so. And I said, hey, this is the good spot. where we could get a nice rally here, and I think possibly even go and break out to new all-time highs, and it couldn't do it. But that's how things work. They just don't go down in a straight line. You will get those multi-week, multi-month bounces. But overall, I do think that now we've gotten a pretty good trend established, and I hope it goes lower, because I'm going to load up like I've never loaded up before. And I own a fair amount of gold bullion and silver bullion.
All right, so that's it for today. Make sure you go over to inthemoneystocks.com, see how Nick has beaten the averages for decades now. While you're at it, take a look at the Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz. Your emails are welcome. Send them off to kl@kerrylutz.com. And so concludes another episode of Daily Market Wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. Be sure to go to his website, inthemoneystocks.com. Don't forget the Twitter feeds at ITMS and at Nick Santiago01.